Well, good morning on a Thursday, and it is January 15th. Today is Martin Luther King's, or what would have been Martin Luther King's birthday. So, happy birthday to the past, rest in peace, Martin Luther King Jr. So, keep keep a remembrance of him at least for today in your hearts and minds and so forth. I have a dream. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, so yeah, I wasn't even born when he did that speech. Or maybe I was, but I don't remember it. Of course not. I was just a little kid, you know. So, anyway, if you can see this, this is my no name sweatshirt for sweating. I use that out there in the snow. Believe it or not, folks, we have at least how many inches, baby? Probably about oh, rough guess 7-8 inches, something like that. Yeah, right now we have about 7 or 8 inches of snow outside. And the total high today is only going to be 12 Fahrenheit, and the low will be 7. Now it'll get up to about the mid 20s by this weekend when I do the pod blast with Chance. But yeah, but then next week it goes back down to almost 20, just 20 degrees Fahrenheit, and I think on one day it goes down to 14. So yeah, Farmer's Almanac was right. This will be one of the roughest winters they've had in a long time. And we found out today there is a Taco Bell. Yeah, a Taco Bell that I used to go to a lot down in Arizona is now in St. John's, Newfoundland, where my wife used to live, where Suzanne was. And they up by a place called Mount Pearl, which isn't too far. And the lines are in the roadways they stretch for miles. The wait times are anywhere from like what did they say, babe? About 15 minutes to a half hour. Yes. 15 minutes to a half hour. Can you believe that in Newfoundland, a Taco Bell? Yeah, and it's outselling everybody else around there. Local bars, local food, things like that. It's amazing, right? How a competitor who wants to exploit a certain market comes into it, like the McDonald's, you know what I mean. McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, Taco Bell, anything, Walmart, right? And then when they come in promising lower prices and other things like that, and of course with the fast food places promising the food they do, that's why you can see how the lines go nuts and everybody goes crazy. Suzanne and I went through it. When they opened a brand new McDonald's outside of Albuquerque, New Mexico, that was total insanity. I have never seen so many people in one place at one time trying to order food. It was next to impossible. Somehow, Suzanne and I got our food, but it was just it was just totally insane. I never want to go through I never want to go through anything like that again. Never. No grand openings anymore, babe. We're not going to anything with a grand opening anymore. Oh my lord. Anyway, okay, so we're here. As you know, I'm trying to get to 600 videos by the end of this month, and then I'm going to take. I think I'm going to go ahead like Gorilla, take a week, another week or so off, at least until the end of the month, and then, like I said, when we get to February, it'll all be fresh, all be new, and we'll start with the Mops project. And like I said, and off to the side, we'll concentrate on Get Smart. We'll be starting on season 4, and we'll be doing this now constantly. So every Monday and Tuesday at whatever time. I'm not telling you folks any set time or anything, but I will be doing at least 4 episodes per week on Mondays and Tuesdays, 2 each. So yeah. So there's a lot of fun stuff to do. Oh wow! Oh my God! Okay, so Suzanne has just typed for you folks. It's 7 degrees Fahrenheit, but it feels like minus 11 degrees Fahrenheit outside. No wonder I don't want to go out there on the balcony, babe. I don't even go out there now. No, no, no. I felt it though. I sat there for like 10 minutes. I could feel the cold like come right through this, tempered glass window. I pushed it open for even like a few seconds. Dogs were going nuts here in the hallway. they could feel the drop in temperature, and the snow is constantly blowing. Right, it's just blizzard conditions. The Don Valley Parkway looks like a parking lot. That's what Suzanne says. She calls it the DVP, the Don Valley Parking Lot. Mm-hmm. When they have these big snow blizzards and things blast through, these people just go at a standstill. Then it's like they don't move. Nobody goes anywhere, and they freeze in their cars, or if they're lucky and they have heat in their cars, then they use it. But anyway, it's like an apocalyptic world out there with all that snow. It's insane. It's just insane. Thank you, baby. Ooh, Burr. Moved by Deja Vu's mom, my beautiful wife. Okay. All right, so let's get to it before we have some more people show, which will be great if we can. But all right, so and don't forget, this coming Saturday, also, as I said, the Nostalgic Pod Blast, 5:35 p.m. Eastern. We'll be talking about that dreaded mouse channel called ABC. That should be fun. That should be interesting. Hello, Kevin's Theme Park Adventures. Well, now, technically, you weren't first. My wife was. But that's all right, Kevin. We love you, brother. Hey, Mikey. Yeah, there's Kevin from Suzanne waving. And hey to Suzanne from Kevin. Nice. I love it. Hey, Kevin. Again, congratulations on your victory with Hakeem and Lemon Pie last night at the BBB trivia contest and open chat afterwards, open panel. That was fantastic. You guys did a great job. That was wonderful. I don't mind losing to some of our community members. That's pretty intense. Oh, you're welcome, Kevin. Thank you. It was close. Um, the Wheel of Fortune game was okay. You guys deserved that because we spun that bankrupt spot right 3 times. That was nuts. And then of course in the yeah, and then in the Jeopardy, you guys only missed that one question about quadrophenia. Yeah, mm-hmm. With the who question, but otherwise, well, to be fair, okay, I had seen the movie. No kidding. I had seen the movie less than 4 days before this trivia thing, so it was already fresh, still in my head about Johnny the Mod. Yeah, what a weird movie. Oh my gosh, Sting in one of his first roles. Yeah, from the Police. Yeah, the lead singer, Gordon Sumner. Who thought? Yeah, who could have thought that? Mm-hmm. And after he kind of did Quadrophenia, uh, he also appeared in a movie called Brimstone and Treacle. Now that's an intense movie. That is weird as hell, and I mean hell. It is nuts. But yeah. But anyway, yeah. You know what? If you folks want me to, I can do reviews on Tommy. These are the last 2 movies I've seen in the last few days. I've seen Tommy the Musical that the Who did, and then I saw Quadrophenia, and I've seen Brimstone and Treacle. So though any of those 3 movies, if you folks feel like I could do a decent review on it, I definitely could, because I've seen them now in their entirety, everything. So yeah, it would be worth it, definitely. But you might not sleep alone again. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Kevin says, thank you, Mikey. Well, you're absolutely welcome, sir. And please let Hakeem and, Lemon Pie know that too, that they did a great job. Well, I might see them here before we're done. So, all right. So we're looking at episodes 25 and 26. And as I mentioned in the description, and I forgot to mention last week, but let me go ahead and mention it again real quick. So Run Robot Run, as I said, came out Saturday, March 16th, 1968. I forgot to mention the date that the Hotline, the next episode, came out. That was the following Saturday on March 23rd, 1968. Okay, and then Die Spy, which is episode 25 of season 3, came out Saturday, March 30th, 1968. And finally, the last episode of season 3 the Reluctant Redhead, episode 26, that came out Saturday, April 6th, 1968. Okay, so in Die Spy, Max gets a hip black partner as he and 99 tour the world as a ping pong pro in this spoof of I Spy. And then in the other episode, Control tries to get some chaos files with the help of a non professional spy. And both these got a straight up B for me, mostly because 216 people gave it an 8.1 out of 10. So not a bad rated episode. And then the other episode got an 8.2 out of 10 from 199 people. So there you go. And like I said, after these are done, then we'll wait about a week or so. It'll get to the end of the month, for streams. And then, but I might still do one of my impromptu interviews, as I said, or impromptu live stream, because I would love to interview Matt Arnold. I did talk to Lizzie Armstrong. She's fine, everybody. She's totally fine. Our sister over there in Queensland, Australia. The only thing is she's very busy. So I don't want to interrupt her. I'll let her do the work she needs to do. In the meantime, I'll just go ahead and move on to our next wonderful guest, our next brother here in our family, and we'll try to talk to Matt Arnold, see if we can do an interview with him. So, yeah, we're going to try for that next week. Meantime, Gorilla is down there, and he just got to Florida, so thank God. Good job, Gorilla. I'm glad you're thankful that you got down there to Florida. And of course, he's looking for LDG, because he's got to spend the night in Fort Lauderdale, and then he goes on the cruise ship, to Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao Friday morning. And LDG says, I'm waiting. He says, I'm waiting to put my foot in your ass for that Indian, drum music that he had him on a loop for about 8 hours. Yeah, you guys remember that? Oh my God. Oh, that's hilarious. Anyway, okay, so let's get to the show, but let's see if anybody else has come in. Let's see. All right, so it's just Kevin and my beautiful wife Suzanne. All right, awesome, and we got 2 likes already. Yay! Thank you so much. Oh boy, I you know what? I had lack of sleep last night because I was, like I said, did the trivia thing took, and then the discussion afterwards took 4.5 hours, 4 hours 32 minutes. And I was and some seconds, and I was like, wow. And I just finally told them, and then of course we talked backstage, right? So we were there for at least over 5 hours. I said, no, 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 no. I gotta go to bed, man. Somewhere in this century, I need to lay down. So I took a nice hot bath, and then I went to bed. And well, I slept a lot because yesterday I didn't sleep a lot, and I had the runs. Can you believe that from a Caesar salad? Oh my lord, with chicken on it and everything.
It's too healthy for you, honey.
Yes, honey, you're right, baby. It was too healthy for me, Suzanne said. Amen. You know, I'm trying to, I lived in America all that time, and because of all that artificial sweeteners and preservatives, all that stuff was bad for me. Found out I had type 2 diabetes, right? And she's got it too. So I was like, well, honey, you know what we need to do? We need to do a cleansing. Yeah, to change our diet, and she's lost a lot of weight. My wife looks awesome. She's lost a lot of weight, but she does still have the problems with her knees, right? There's just no bone or ligament. Well, there's bone, but no ligament, so she's got to get that fixed. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get through these episodes, and then we'll talk for a little bit. Cartilage. Thank you, baby. No cartilage, lack of tendons, right? The whole thing. Okay, so Die Spy. Here we go. All right, so the director is Gary Nelson in this episode. And of course, the usual cast of characters: Don Adams, Barbara Feldon, and Edward Platt. And we're going to look at the young black man, the African American actor that I believe helped him, and that his name is, I believe, Stu Gilliam. So we're going to look at Stu Gilliam. Then we have Anthony Ustrell. He plays a chaos chief in this episode. And oh, by the way, As a parody of I Spy, guess who else shows up in an uncredited appearance? Robert Culp himself as a waiter. You know what? That's the best part about Mel Brooks and Buck Henry. They covered all the spots, all the corners, dotted their I's, you know, crossed their T's. They made sure that when you made fun of a certain series like Robert Culp and Bill Cosby did, you put Robert Culp or Bill or either one of them in as as a cameo. So that is cool. And then of course the one lady we all talk about that is a relative of the one of the creators, Rose Mictum, plays a widow, uncredited in this. So very cool. Oh, and Larrabee appears again. Robert Carvelis appears as Larrabee. All right. All right, so let's look at the trivia. Right. And as a tribute to the recently canceled I Spy series, which did end in 1965, the star of that series, Robert Culp, has a small cameo as the drunken waiter. Now, as you all folks remember, Robert Culp, William Catt, Connie Selica, they all appeared in The Greatest American Hero, which I did cover earlier last year in a bunch of videos just like this. So if you get a chance and you want to go ahead and check those out, just look them up under the Mikey Sue's 4 channel we used to own, because those private videos are still there, but now they're open to the public domain, and you can check out our Greatest American Hero reviews. And we talk a lot about Robert Culp and Cat and Selka and that. So yeah. All right, and the title was inspired by another class spy series. Like I said, I Spy. Interestingly, that series premiered 3 days before Get Smart, and then that show's final episode aired 2 weeks following the airing of this episode. How ironic. The name of the third spy network, which is called Atrocities, Cruelties, and Brutalities, ACB, is a direct reference to ABC, the American Broadcasting Company. How about that? Which was the number 3 network in terms of rankings at the time this was filmed. ABC was also historically the third network formed. How cool. One of the pictures of Kubitschek is that of Judy Lang, a fellow actress. Okay. I think we're, let's see. Yep, we're good on the trivia. There we go. Let's see. Soundtrack. Let's see. Oh, yeah, they play the I Spy theme somewhere in the episode, composed by Earl Hagen. Nice. All right. No crazy credits. Of course, all filming and production done at Paramount Studios there in Hollywood, California. All right, now we're going to take a look at our 2 qualifying mini bios today. One, of course, is Stu Gilliam, who plays Samuels. There he is. All right. Stu Gilliam, we unfortunately lost him back in 2013. Not only was he an actor, but he worked on some soundtrack as well. Stu Gilliam was born on July 27, 1933 in Detroit, Michigan. And he's known for Dr. Black, Mr. Hyde in 1976. What's Happening? That TV series in 1976. And Farewell, My Lovely in 1975. He was married to Vivian White, so he had one marriage. And he died on October 11th, 2013 in the Czech Republic at České Budějovice. Nice. Ovice. Oh, I'm sorry, that's it. České Budějovice in Czech Republic. He was 80 years old. Wow. All right. And so in the movie Dr. Black, Mr. Hyde, he plays Silky the Pimp in 76. And then in the What's Happening TV series with an all, African American cast, he played 2 different characters. In season 1, episode 4, My 3 Tons, he plays Gary. And in season 3, episode 10, he plays Willie Spencer in an episode called Positive Identification in 78. So from 76 to 78, 2 episodes of that. Then he was in The Meteor Man as the head physician in 1993. And then finally, 1975, Farewell, My Lovely as man number one. All right. And his last appearance, there you go. The Meteor Man as the head physician in 93. And his second to last was Life Stinks, which is a great Mel Brooks film where Mel Brooks plays Desmond, right, from 1991. That is a great, funny movie. Life Stinks. Yeah, I love that movie. Yeah, Stu Gilliam was a great, like I said, black actor. And of course, how appropriate, right? Today is Martin Luther King Jr.'s, what would have been his birthday. So there you go. That works out perfect. How ironic can you get? All right, so Chaos Chief. You know what? We'll also take a look at Poupée Bocard. She plays Tamara. Oh, nice. All right, so three of them. No problem. All right, Anthony, let's see. All right. We did lose Anthony Eustrell in 1979 as an actor. Now, he was born October 12th, 1902, in London. He was known for Shirley Temple's storybook in 1958, The Story of Robin Hood and His Merry Men in 1952, and Captain John Smith and Pocahontas in 1953. He died on July 2nd, 1979, in Woodland Hills in LA, California. He was the age of 76. All right. And for the Shirley Temple's storybook series, it was a TV series, he played Aladdin in one episode in 1958. And that's season one, episode 6, called The Land of Green Ginger. Nice. Then, let's see. Back in 19, going to the Wayback Machine. So we'll start with 1945. He was in Caesar and Cleopatra as Achilles, or almost Achilles, but it says Achilles. So, and then he was in a movie called Captain John Smith and Pocahontas, where he plays King James from England in 1953, who sent John Smith and the people there to the New Americas. And then the story of Robin Hood and his merry men, he played the Archbishop of Canterbury in 1952. The last thing he worked on was a TV series that featured one of our best actors, George Peppard from the A Team. But in 1972, Peppard was in his own series called Banachek. And in an episode, Anthony appeared as a butler. And the name of that episode was from season 1, episode 5, To Steal a King. Nice. So he got to star alongside George Peppard. That's pretty cool. All right, so that's the mini bio. Rest in peace of both Stu and Anthony. And now, last but not least, for this episode, Poupée Bocard. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing her name correctly. Okay, so she's worked on soundtrack and also an actress. She was born on August 15th, 1940, in San Diego, California. And women outlive men, so she is 85 years of age. She is still around. She's known for Columbo in 1971 series. Of course, Get Smart, and then the last movie in 1971. So in Columbo in 1975, she played in one episode, and her character was Rosanna Wells in an episode from season 4, episode 4, which was called Troubled Waters. And then, let's see. All right. And in the last movie, she was the nightclub singer in 1971. And she also appeared in Peppard's Banachek. This is cool, back to back. Wanda was her role in that TV series in 1973. And the episode was called Season 2, Episode 2. Get this. If Max is so smart, why doesn't he tell us where he is? Nice. It's weird how they come up with these darn things, right? Okay. Now, in Get Smart, including playing Tamara in Die Spy today, she also appears later on. We'll talk about her briefly. In season 4, she'll be in episode 17 called Tequila Mockingbird, which, of course, is a take on To Kill a Mockingbird. And she plays the role of Esperanza in that episode. So she did appear in 2 episodes of Get Smart. Okay, all right. So her last appearance before she passed, uh, she appeared as like I said in Columbo, Troubled Waters. So that was her last appearance. Okay, cool. So that is the two actors and actress, and of course the actress outlived the two men. There you go for episode 25. All right, so let's go to let's see here. Yeah, let's get back to the next episode. All right, and that one is The Reluctant Redhead, and it's directed by James Komack. No, don't worry, I won't read his one thing. About courtship and Eddie's father. You only can push something so far, and then I'd be like going, no. The writer was Leonard Stern. Okay, so Rose McTum, Michtom, I believe was the aunt of Leonard Stern, the writer. So yeah, or grandmother, or whatever you want to call her. Ooh, get off me, these damn bed bugs. Okay, and loving it. All right, so we're gonna look at let's see here. Oh, why not? Let's go ahead and take a look again at Cesar Romero. He plays Kinsey Crispin. And then we'll look at Julie Samars, who plays Mimsy Sage. There we go. And then maybe somebody related to Alfred Hitchcock. Robert Hitchcock. He plays an ophthalmologist. He was uncredited, but nice. Yeah, so we'll look at Caesar. We'll look at Julie. It'd be like a fresh remembrance. All right. Okay, now this is the first Get Smart episode to use the puzzle piece graphic to fade into and out of commercial breaks. That was a move that characterized all of the episodes during the series' last two seasons. In the closing fight, there are two extra control agents named Sazmary and Carvelis. These are shout outs to Irving Sazmary, who is the composer of the score for the episode or for Get Smart, and Robert Carvelis as Larrabee. When the chief informs Max that Grubnik of Chaos is after Mimsy, 99 responds by saying that she thought he was with Thrush. This, of course, was a sly nod to the recently canceled The Man from U.N.C.L.E. from 1964. In the bookstore scene, a sign in the background advertises a color TV for $295 in 1968, the equivalent to $2,225 back in 2020. All right, when Max shows Mimsy how to jump into a car, the car is parked in front of the Douglas house from My Three Sons. Nice. Oh, sorry. Yep, and the last trivia bit, of course, is the James Comack thing. I will not read that back. You all know he came from courtship of Eddie's father. And that's all that needs to be said. Okay. Right? I mean, you guys are laughing. I'm sure you are. All right, so let's go ahead and let's see. Taking a look at our information here. Let's see. Okay. And this episode was still done in Paramount. So very cool. All right. Let's see. Yep, let's do the ladies mini battle first, Julie Somars, and then of course we'll look at the great Cesar Romero. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Julie. All right. Now Julie was in a movie with Dean Jones. She's still alive, which was Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo in 1977. She was born April 15th, 1940. So she is right now 85. Yay. And that's interesting. She was born on tax day. That must have been a pain in the arse. Oh, hey, she's born. Oh, crap. We got to pay our taxes. Yeah, that must have been insane. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Julie was born in Fremont, Nebraska, to a government grain inspector. Imagine on the taxes on that guy. And school teacher, her mom. She attended schools in Iowa, Nebraska, and South Dakota. Hassenpfeffer Incorporated. Okay, while a student in Onawa, Onawa. Okay, yeah, Onawa, Iowa, her father, without her knowledge, entered her name in a worldwide talent hunt. 15-year-old Julie found herself in Chicago, auditioning for Otto Preminger. And you all know Otto Preminger, very famous director uh, in early stuff. For the lead role in his film St. Joan. She didn't get that part, but as a high school senior, she did win the American Legion State Oratory Contest in Aberdeen, South Dakota. Very cool. And then she went on to greater and better things. All right. So, like I said, she was in Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo in 77, where she plays Diane Darcy. And of course, Mimsy here in the Get Smart episode of The Reluctant Redhead. She also appeared in 96 episodes as Julie March in Matlock, with, of course, the late, great Andy Griffith. She was one of his assistants. And then she appeared for 2 episodes in McCloud, which featured Dennis Weaver back in 1971 to 74. And one episode she did in season 2, she plays Jenny Tanakiel, and it's a season 2 episode 3 called Somebody's Out to Get Jenny. And then in season 5 episode 4, she played Sergeant Mildred Cross, and in that episode in 74, it's called the 42nd Street Cavalry. Nice. Okay, and according to IMDb, when she worked with Griffith to 1994, 87 to 94, that's where she stepped away. Before that, she did work with also another great actor who just turned 100 years old, Dick Van Dyke, in the Diagnosis Murder TV series. And she played Regina Baylor in one episode of that in 1994. And that was called The Plague, season 1, episode 18. Nice. So Julie Samars, yeah, she's a great actress, and she still has that distinctive red head. Well, so did my beautiful wife Suzanne. I fell in love with her redheadedness. All right, so let's take a look now at the great Cesar Romero. All right, Cesar Romero. Of course, we did lose him in 1994. Worked as an actor, soundtrack. Remember, he played the role of the Joker in both Batman, the movie, in 1966, as well as in the TV series. And he kept that distinctive mustache of his, and he would not remove it. The story goes is that when he was hired as the Joker, he told the producers, including Dozier, I will not remove this mustache. It is my trademark. I'm keeping it. So, there you go. He kept it. Simple Justice was a movie in 1989 that he was in. We'll mention that in a minute. Okay. So, tall, suave, and sophisticated Cesar Romero actually had 2 claims to fame in Hollywood. To one generation, he was the distinguished Latin lover of numerous musicals and romantic comedies, and the rogue bandit the Cisco Kid in a string of low-budget westerns. However, to a younger generation weaned on television, Romero was better known as the white-faced, green-haired, cackling villain with the mustache, which was really his, the Joker of the camp 1960s TV series Batman, and as a bumbling corporate villain in a spate of Walt Disney live action shorts, like The Computer Who Wore Tennis Shoes, or what was the other one? With the monkey and things like that. A lot of different Walt Disney type films like that. Oh, Blubber and all that. The the absent-minded professor, among other things. Okay, he was born February 15th, 1907. He did die on January 1st, 1994, at 86 years old. Can you imagine if he continued to live right now? If he had another 32 years, he'd be 118 years old. Yeah, no thanks. I don't think he wanted to live that long. 86 was enough for that man. Let's see. Yes, so as I said, he appeared as the Joker in the Batman TV movie in 1966. He was in Ocean's 11 in 1960, the original, by the way, not the George Clooney, not the Bacon, not Bacon, sorry, Brad Pitt, not any of that stuff. He was in the original, which is great. He played Duke Santos in 1960 in that movie. He was also in a great movie called Donovan's Reef in 1963, where he played the Marquis André Delage. Uh, that was nice. And then in Vera Cruz, way back on the Time Machine, 1954, he played the Marquis Henri de Labaudière. Nice.
For 1 minute?
What, honey?
Can I disturb you for a second?
Yeah, certainly, baby.
Okay.
We'll be right back. Good bugs. Yeah, there we go. That snow is really coming down. Okay. I'm almost done, babe. Okay, so just a couple extra credits that Mr. Cesar Romero did. He was in a movie posthumously in 1998 where he appeared as Don Genesi. And then in 1985 to 1992, up to the point where it came close to his death, he was in the TV series manned by that great woman, Dame Angela Lansbury, called Murder, She Wrote. And he appeared in 2 episodes. In season 1, episode 14, in 85, he played Diego Santana in Paint Me a Murder. And then the final season, season 9, episode 1, he appeared as Marcello Abruzzi in 92 in a episode called Murder in Milan. So that was the great Cesar Romero. Rest in peace, my friend. He also was Tony. Yeah, he did appear in 1 episode of The Golden Girls. I'll do this one last mention too, with B. Arthur and the rest. Season 6, episode 10. Girls Just Want to Have Fun Before They Die. In 1990, he played Tony in that. So he appeared. He made a lot of later appearances, of course, older and but still distinguished, still suave. Great guy. So rest in peace again, like I said, Cesar Romero. Joker. Yeah, Mr. Joker. Okay. Well, we are done for today, and that finishes out season 3 of Get Smart. So we are going to, like I said, we're going to take a little break. Just going to step away for a few days. Suzanne and I want to go and do our normal Chipotle and go see a great movie. I believe that's coming out at the end of this month on January 30th. So we're going to do that. During that time from now until then, in the next 15 days, we're going to try to get a hold of Matt Arnold so we can go ahead and Suzanne Lizzie Armstrong, sister, we know that you're busy and keep doing what you're doing. And when you're ready, when you're fully available and you know that you're free, don't mind at all. Just please send me a message through my Facebook. I know you don't use it very often. I know you use Gmail and the other thing, which I don't use. I don't use Discord. I'm sorry. But through Gmail or, like I said, if you message me on Facebook Messenger, which is encrypted, Lizzie, we can get you a spot. There's plenty of time. We can do any time at all, any day, whatever you want, for your interview. Okay. So let me know when you're fully available to do that interview with us, we would love to have you. It would be our pleasure to have interview a great lady as yourself. So remember that if you do this on the rewatch. Okay. Let's see. All right. So starting in February, uh, the time to be determined and the date because I don't know yet. As I said, because I want to get the MOPS project started right away with Larry with his first interview. That's pretty much how we're going to go the rest of the year. For now, is just the interviews that I'm trying to put together with the MOPS project, and of course, the Get Smart. And Get Smart will almost be done, and then when we're done with Get Smart, that's it. So, yeah. Now we may, as I said, have to Get Smart in the summer. We might go ahead and get into those we've been waiting and waiting and trying, but so much stuff keeps coming up. But in the summer, as I said, in June, we're going to try to do our big celebration with all the original game from back in Arizona, including Larry and Patrick and myself and Phil and James and Frank, if we can. And then, that's later on in the summer. And then we're going to also try to do those great Star Trek fan films, which we'll talk about with Jim's Landscape and hopefully Larry and hopefully Sci-Fi Sifdan. The Star Trek New Voyages, which feature James Cawley as Kirk, and then of course the Star Trek Continues, those 11 episodes with Vic Minona as Kirk. So a total of 21 episodes, which we hope to cover and finish. And then, of course, not this year that I think right now because there's a lot going on, but maybe later this year. I don't know. But after we finish those fan film series, then we'll go ahead. The next thing I'll go back to, or to start with, to do daily or weekly reviews is of course Star Trek Enterprise because you got to start at the beginning, right? And then you go to TNG, then DS9, and then eventually Voyager, and you end there. So yeah, there you go. All right, so let's get back to immediate things. Get Smart. Next month we'll start, of course, with season 4. The first episode of that will be the Impossible Mission, and then the other one will be Snoopy Smart versus the Red Baron. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so yeah, so we'll do those 2 episodes next month. Like I said, everything will pretty much start after February the 1st. So, alrighty.
I just missed it.
Okay, so now let's see. We've had the chat blow up, so I will now get to the chat. Make sure we acknowledge everybody. Okay, so after Kevin said thank you, Mikey, for last night's appearances, Suzanne Eckstein, welcome, honey, from Saskatchewan. Good morning, Mikey. And good morning to Sister Suzanne. Thank you, Suzanne. Kevin says, hey, Suzanne. And Kevin also says good morning to my Suzanne. And I believe she's making some cake. And Susie, Sister Susie says, hi, Kevin. Susie says hello to Moon Pie. Aw. And Mikey, let your wife say hello. Go ahead, honey.
I did say hi to her.
Oh, good. Thank you. And Susie says Banachek was great. You should do a watch party, Mikey. Yeah, it's an underrated series with George Papard. I agree. We might do that in the future. Remind me, maybe we can do a watch party of one of the episodes or something. That'd be cool. I know that brother Curtis would love to do that. Yeah, brother Curtis, I believe, was a Banachek fan as well. Susie says, "Oh no, you have bed bugs, buddy. That's not good. Call your landlord. The landlord won't do crap. The landlord won't do crap. My sister. They will not. They tried 3 times and they didn't do anything. Nope. And we reported them. Right. Reported the company. No good. So we're stuck. But what we use is Shout. And we found that Shout, it takes stains out, whatever, is good at killing them. So we've been using that. So yeah, it's not a big deal. Hey, Gorilla. Gorilla's random thoughts on the way to ABCs of Caribbean. and he's in Fort Lauderdale. He says, you would think as big of an airport and with modern technology, they could have a freaking smoking area somewhere past security. Good one, Gorilla. It's great to see you, buddy. I am glad you made it safely to Fort Lauderdale. You do not want to be back here in the ice storm sheets that we've been going through today. You do not want to be back here. No way, no way. So I'm very jealous of you. You're going to have a good trip down there in the Caribbean. Kevin says, hey to Gorilla. Gorilla says, gets a hello from Miss Susie. Gorilla says, hey to Kevin. Hey, Susie and Suzanne. Kevin says, no, I don't think he wanted to live that long. No, yeah. Um, Susie says, Gorilla, I remember when we were able to smoke on the plane and trains, right? Uh, yeah, those were the good old days, Suzanne. Right, Gorilla, right you are. And as Susie says, and Gorilla says, I don't care about smoking on the plane. I just think they need an area or two past security so people don't have to go through security again. Great, granted, but you could go outside and smoke too. It is Florida. It's not like it's the snow back here. Gorilla. It's crazy for sure, Gorilla. Susie says, yeah, it is crazy, Kevin says. Gorilla, oh my gosh, let's see her. Yeah, it is crazy. And Gorilla says, yeah, Baltimore ain't a small airport. No, Baltimore, Maryland is all a part of that, that ring, with Baltimore, Virginia, Maryland, Virginia, District of Columbia. It's a whole big mess, Gorilla. I'm surprised you made it. And the big wave and hello from my beautiful wife, Suzanne. Thank you, baby. Susie says, have fun, everyone. Peace out. All right, take care, Susie. It was good to see you. Um, my wife says, hello, Suzanne. We tried, but he just sprayed the baseboards, not the furniture. It is a half-hour's job, and don't kill anything but our time. Amen. Yeah, and Susie says, moon pie, that's horrible, dear. Lemon, hey, Sir Lemon, congratulations for your victories last night. Sir Lemon Pie is a trivia genius. Wow. Good morning there, Lemon. Lemon says, Susie says to Lemon Pie, hello. Lemon says, hey, Suzanne. And Susie says, oh, I loved Banachek and Columbo. Great wholesale viewing. Yes, I agree. Lemon says, hi, Suze. And my wife says, it is. And top it off, I have allergies to bugs with shells or shellfish. And that doesn't help. Susie says, moon pie, iron your mattress with dryer sheets. It helps. She does use these dryer stars. These what do you call them, baby? They're like sheets, but they're like rubber stars. The rub
The fur off the clothes.
Right, yeah, they do that. We do have a form that works very effectively there, Susie. Hello to Lemon from my wife. Uh, and Susie says, moon pie myself as well. That's why I know dryer sheets work. Amen. She says, okay, thank you. I will try that. Thank you. And then, of course, Gorilla says, in Baltimore. Right. And Suzanne said, thank you. I will try that. Oh, you're in Baltimore. How come you're in Baltimore? I thought you were down there in Fort Lauderdale. Oh, you're probably on a layover. Okay, maybe for a little hour. I don't know. I don't know. You're flying. I ain't. I told you I was fleeing ice. I told you that too. The ice storm hit us hard. Yeah, our high today is only going to be 12 degrees Fahrenheit. None of that crappy Celsius bullshit.
-7 in wind chill factor.
Yeah, and -7 wind chill factor. So, and then the low tonight's supposed to be 7, but it's going to be less than that. Uh, Susie says, Gorilla, laugh out loud. You're a freak, brother. He says, oh, we do have a 3-hour layover in Baltimore. Okay. Okay, Gorilla, I didn't know. Hey, no worries. Yeah. Yeah, Baltimore's a nightmare. It's nightmare fuel. How are you going to move about? You can't really do that, right? And you want to grab something to eat. Oh, good luck with that. Mm-hmm. They put the food court in a spot which is out beyond security, and you're gonna have to go boom and then come back boom and yeah, right. Oh, what a fucking mess. That's why I don't like to go through airports anymore. Yeah, there was some bed bugs on my instant sweater. Yeah.
Oh, they're everywhere.
I know. I know. And everybody, here's Suzanne saying hello to everybody.
Hello.
There you go. Yeah, so 3 hour layover. Hey, Gorilla. Oh, and by the way, Gorilla, we saw that short where you said that when you get down to Florida and LDG is ready to put his foot in your ass. He says, I'll be waiting.
That was a funny video. I laughed.
It was hilarious. Yeah, it was. Uh yeah, we're gonna have to do the chair again, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
Let's see. Hey, Gorilla from Lemon. Uh, and Suzanne said, "Hey, Gorilla, good idea. It's stormy here." Yeah, well, stormy doesn't even begin to describe it. Gorilla says, "Hey, Scurvy." Susie says, "Screw that. It's white outside. That means cold. My tail stays inside until I see green." Amen, sister. Amen. And there's Susie saying, "Hello, beautiful." Aw, she thinks you're beautiful, baby. There we go. She's right even now as we're speaking. She's spraying all that shout around me because this chair I sit on, it's a fold out, pop out, and they end up being in there too. So they are everywhere in this apartment building. Now we told them, okay, we're able to sort of control their infestations, but we did tell the building they tried 3 times and didn't do shit. We told them, look, you try to come in here again, you're going to have to move us to another place because I will not put up with somebody else in here again trying to spray where he sprayed for like less than 10 minutes and then didn't do anything else. Bullshit. I'll move to another apartment before I deal with somebody in here again. They'll have to kick us out and put us up somewhere else. If that doesn't happen, I'm going to get the city on top of these people. I'm going to have this landlord wasted. That's it. I'm going to get the landlord kicked out of here so we can get somebody who wants to do something about it. Drives me nuts. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Susie. She is beautiful, Mikey. Of course she is. She's my wife. She is beautiful. I love her, unconditionally.
Oh, no, no, beautiful.
Yep, the reason we stay here is the rent. Yeah, that is the only reason. Yeah, we pay about $150. That's a rough guesstimate. About $150 a month. That's it. It comes automatically out of our disability checks. And then, and that includes hydro, the electricity, everything else. So, yeah, it's a great deal. Despite the conditions, right? The living conditions. Gorilla says to Susie, I'll come over and start throwing broccoli at your windows. Oh, Gorilla. Oh, man. Oh, cool. Okay. Gorilla does say there is food and drinks everywhere. All right, sir. Well, you got the food and drinks. Um, Gorilla, are you on the correct time? I know you had to move over time zones. So are you on the correct time right now? Oh, there's another one. You've been spraying, and here came another one right on my shoulder. Get over here and die. There you go. Anyway, what was I gonna say again? Oh, so right now it is 5 minutes. It's 11:55 a.m. So it's almost noon. So is it noon for you there, Gorilla? You're on the same time frame. You should be. Okay. Susie, yeah. So after Gorilla said, yeah, there's food and drinks everywhere. Okay. Susie says, I am so very blessed that I was able to buy us our little house. It's small, sure, but we got no critters that bother us other than that one cat and one dog. And Susie says, Gorilla, do it. Throw in broccoli. Broccoli. or is it broccoli? Barbara Broccoli, the James Bond franchise, but some people say, no, it's Italian. It's Barbara Broccoli, you moron. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Get Italian on me. I don't give a shit.
It's like a basil. It's a spice, but if you call a person basil, it's basil.
Correct. Like Basil Rathbone, like the guy that did Sherlock Holmes, Basil Rathbone. We call him Basil.
Broccoli is a food, but what you just said is a name.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Suzanne said to you there, Gorilla, you are truly blessed. And both to you too, Susie and Harlem, and everyone. Susie says, Mike, darling, you are way too comfortable with those nasty bugs. So God bless you both. Uh, honey, I've lived here for 8 years now. It's a part of life. What can I say? I'm 60. I really, I've gotten a bit more cynical, unfortunately. But that's why this minister wife of mine can help me out with that. Gorilla says, unfortunately. Yeah, it's almost noon time for you, right? Food time. Come on, man. Eat something before you have to fly down to Fort Lauderdale. Um, Here's an interesting thought, Gorilla. Is LDG going to make a trip and meet you personally to put said foot in your said butt, or is he going to do something else? Let me know there in the comments. Susie says, Moon pie indeed. I got a small inheritance and I used it to buy us a home. Oh, by the way, Susie, we forgot to ask you. Um, they're in Trinidad, right? In Tobago areas and all that. How are your relatives doing down there? Are they doing well? Everything going okay for them? Yeah, let me know here in the chat. How are they doing? I have not heard any recent news about your relatives there, so I don't know how they're really doing. But let me know. Oh no, I would be chalking out the landlord. Oh yeah, well, we'll get there. We'll get there, sweetie. We will. We'll get there. She's an evil witch. I call her the evil witch of the north, but whatever. She's the landlord. She's this far. Trust me, I gotta say this, and hopefully she doesn't watch these things. But I gotta say that I'm this close to being thrown back into the United States. But of course, that won't matter once this place becomes 51st state. So it'd be like a nice little. And then, of course, I would not move back to Arizona. I'd stay up here up north, probably move into New York State with Suzanne or somewhere. Or we could just go back to Newfoundland and live there. That's where she's from. So, and hey, Lemon from Kevin. And Susie says, oh, yes, Mike, family is great. Oh, fantastic. That's good news. Yeah. You know what I worry about? When your folks are, well, I mean your relatives down there, when they start that your family, when they start to have those um hurricanes and things like that, that's scary shit. Yeah, you have to be really careful. Jamaica gets blasted, Cuba gets blasted. I don't know. They did something wrong. Those particular nations. It's kind of weird. Let's see. Hello to Kevin from Lemon. And you did hear me, right, Lemon? You did a great job with you and Hakeem and Kevin last night. So good job, guys. You did a good job. And we're going to be, oh, by the way, next Wednesday, we're going to be doing a 1v1 first. I'm going up against Grumpelstiltskin. Grumpelstiltskin, according to Chrissy at BBB there on the channel, he is the number one trivia man. And I'm trying to throw at him a an unorthodox subject, and I think it might be a subject he might not know enough about. But he's been to Arizona, so it'll be something related to Arizona. But I lived there for a long time, so maybe he won't know it. Maybe he will. I'm just tossing the chips out as they say, as it may. Um, Hello, Kevin from Lemon. My family has been there since the 1700s. Yeah, I read that. You showed me. You sent me in Facebook Messenger, and thank you, by the way. You sent me the village, right? Eckstein Village, right? You sent me that. Yeah, and I read it, the whole thing. Yeah, impressive, very impressive. As I said, in my general family, I've only been able to trace my lineage all the way back to Jacques Fournier, Benedict XII, the Pope, where he was known as the actual physical Pope, but he was exiled to Avignon, France, because Richard I, he was the only one in Rome, in Vatican City at that time, but they considered him the anti-pope. And that was during a big course in theological history, the Great Schism between the 12th and 13th centuries. And one of the base things that my relative Jacques was fighting was nepotism. Yeah, that was his big subject. That was his big scene. Yeah. So I'm very proud of that I can go back that far in both my father and mother's lineages. Yeah. Yes, I did. Thank you. Yeah, that was, yeah, awesome. Yeah, I loved it. It was great history. And I'm glad that you come from such a distinguished family, Susie. Makes me appreciate you a lot more as a friend and as a family member. All of you, everyone. Um, Everybody that's been here today. 4 likes. We got four wonderful people still watching. So yeah, we just have a few minutes and then we'll sign off and then the next time you'll see me will be like I said on the Nostalgic Pod Blast on Saturday afternoon at 5:30 p.m. 5:35 p.m. Sorry, yeah. So, and by that time, Gorilla will be down there soaking in the sun, sunbathing on the cruise ship, doing all sorts of stuff. You know, that big gorilla. Hey, Gorilla, did you leave any of your silverback hair on the plane on the chair or I mean the plane seat you were in? Did they have to use those to pick up the hair and everything? Because you are a hairy man, you know this, right? Um, we love you, Gorilla. Come on. Okay, Suzanne messaged me privately later about the critters. I have something to help. Okay, well, yep. When we can, we will definitely, Susie. Well, we'll try to reach you this weekend. Pass it along to me, and I will definitely get it along to her if you want. Send it in Facebook Messenger. Yeah, definitely. Susie says that's just one side. The other side, I've been there. The other side been there longer, brother. Nice, much longer. Nice. Yeah, like I said, I come. My family of Fourniers, like your Ecksteins, come from a very distinguished line. Um, you know, we have been, like I said, besides being members of the laity, the religious laity, we've been hunters, we've been traders. When we went to Canada, we were one of the first to help in the trade. We were also one of the first to fight in the French and Indian War during that time. And we own vineyards. Yeah, there's a whole line. My dad said this. There's a whole line of vineyards between France and Germany, which that area is called Alsace-Lorraine, and that is where we have a lot of vineyard farms and things like that. So yeah, very proud of my lineage, really am. But when I found out that I'm related to a distant pope from the from the 12th and 13th century, that was fantastic. And my dad was even blown away because he said, "Really, we're related to a pope? Oh, of course we are. Of course we are. Jacques Fournier. Come on, you can't be more Fournier than that. Let's be honest. Yeah." Yeah, that's a very distinguished name. We also fought those Yahtzees. You know the Yahtzees in World War II? Oh yeah. We well, here's what I found out. Two of our relatives were both a part of the Versailles Treaty. When they did that to end World War one of them was a train master. He was the guy, that says all aboard and tells people to get on there, whatever, the early train. And the other one was a train conductor. Yeah, so one was an assistant train conductor, and the other one worked to get people on board, and he was also a server. He would help, things like that. So that is a great thing. Susie says we were just wealthy, okay, and we went where we wanted. Nothing famous like the Pope, right? Yeah, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Uh, let's see. Yeah, so we were part of we worked in the French resistance against the Nazis during World War II mostly. I think that's where some of my family comes from. Is that part. Uh, in distant parts of France. And then I know I looked up some information about the American Civil War, the North and South, and I did see that there were Fourniers that fought on both sides. Yeah. So yeah, very good stuff. I love it. Yeah, we did. Oh, excuse me. Oh, yeah, we did as well. Yeah, being German Jew descent. Yes, yes, yeah. That. Yeah, yeah. That's a tough one. Yeah, Eckstein, of course. Yeah. Well, my mom's birth father, he worked in the German merchant marine, and when he escaped, before all hell broke loose, right, with the Third Reich or whatever. So before all that broke loose, he left the merchant marine, moved to America, right, and my mom was born, like I said, in 1946. So for 3 years, she got to know her dad, her real dad, and then of course he passed away, unfortunately. Yeah. And then she found a wonderful stepdad who came from Scotland named Buchan. So, yeah. So, yeah, my mom comes from a distinguished family. Her last name was Roots, Ruetz, if you can believe that. Yeah. So, yeah, yeah, it's great when you have great relatives, uh, distinguished relatives and stuff from your heritage, from your history, that you can be proud of, look back on very fondly. And yeah, I have to say, I look very fondly back. And of course, Suzanne, before she married me, her last name was Craig, and on her father's side, John Craig's side, Daniel Craig, right, the recent James Bond, related right here to this lady, this beautiful lady over here. So yeah, I mean, and she come and her family, the clan Craigden, actually fought alongside William Wallace. You know this, I believe, against the English, and they fought with distinction. They were not fraidy cats. And I'm telling you, I'm really to this day, I'm still pissed because that Mel Gibson, whatever the frick he is, decided to say they were afraid. They were cowards and they would want, no, they weren't. Of course, okay, they owned lands, right? The Craig didn't own lands. But when it came to the fighting, when it came to the battles, Sterling, the other things, they fought. They were there. They fought, they bled. Yeah. So, very proud of that. Very
It's
proud
so
of my wife.
accurate. That movie was unbelievable.
Oh yeah, yeah. Suzanne said inaccuracies. It rained. I'm telling you, they really over exaggerated. They really just went nuts. Yeah. Susie says I know. We ran from Germany to the Caribbean and New Zealand, Canada, and the United States. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Like I said, we're France, we're Germany, uh, Suzanne. So being fully Scottish, right? So Scotland. Uh, my dad said that he's part Irish. I think he said about 1/8 Irish, right? So Ireland, like I said, Germany, France, Ireland, Scotland, you know. And I found out on my father's side, we are 1/8 Iroquois. Yeah, we're Native American too. Yeah, the Iroquois. Hmm. Which is ironic, right? Because a lot of them fought in the French and Indian War, right? And what I read was that one of my Fournier ancestors married uh, one of the Iroquois women, and well, there you go. So I mean, that's very proud of that heritage. Um, there, and they fought on the right side, right? Yeah, they did. Um, okay, so all right, well, we're at an hour. All right, we'll give us another 7 minutes if we can get, and then we'll just start wrapping up around the 1:15 mark. Yeah. So if we can get a few more people to come in here, say hello, and hang out for a few minutes, and then we'll get to our ending. And then, like I said, we'll see everybody after February 1st. We'll just go with that. So yeah, that'll be fine. Okay. So in the meantime, let's thank Miss Susie Eckstein there in Saskatchewan with Harlem and her daughter and the rest of the family, and down there in the Caribbean in Trinidad, Tobago. And of course, Gorilla's going to go see Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. So good luck to you, Gorilla. And Gorilla's Random Thoughts was here too. So thank you, Gorilla, for that. And have fun in Baltimore until you go down to Fort Lauderdale and party your ass off in Fort Lauderdale. Remember, you got a night stay over there before you have to go on to the cruise ship. Once you get on the cruise ship, you might miss land more than you think. Just a thing. Just a thought. But go have some fun, my friend. Of course, I want to thank my beautiful wife Suzanne for being a part of the chat today as well this afternoon. Kevin's Theme Park Adventures. Don't forget to go to his channel and subscribe. Remember, everybody, don't forget, hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We have 62 wonderful family members. Of course, they're not just subs to us, you know that. And that notification bell. There you go. And make sure you're notified about all future podcasts, live streams, and of course, live webcams like this. And don't forget to share this channel, please, with all your friends, family, and acquaintances. Let them know that this is one of the best, most wonderful, and warm and kind channels on YouTube. And we are God fearing people. We love God, of course, and that's number one. So there you go. We also featured in the chat. We had Sir Lemon Pie, our wonderful managing moderator who works for Suzanne, our wonderful Suzanne. And thank you, Lemon. And again, congratulations on your well-earned victories yesterday in BBB's, banter trivia. And let's see. So we got Susie, we got Gorilla, we got Lemon, we got my wife, beautiful wife. Okay, Gorilla, yeah, enjoy yourself, sir. Please have some fun, brother. All right, and then of course Kevin's Theme Park Adventures. We did mention him. Don't forget, guys and gals, when Gorilla comes back after January 27th, I believe he said. Don't forget, remember, he has a great channel. He does his uh cigar lounges on Tuesday nights. He does his Twilight Zone on Thursdays. He does the Waltons on Fridays. And on Saturdays, or excuse me, on Sundays, he does his Cinema Sunday where he does movies, watch parties. So, yeah, make sure you check out Gorilla. He's got some good content. Definitely, definitely there. Okay, there's my beautiful wife. Da, 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 da. Yeah, just going through and scrolling, rawhide. Wata! Aha, gorilla! You can't stop me now. Just kidding. Uh, all right. So there you go. All right. I think I mentioned everybody. Yeah, yeah, I did. And first in the box was my beautiful wife. So there we go. Chili and Freezy and my poor wife. And Barbados. Yes, ma'am. Yes, thank you for reminding me about Barbados. Oh, I know natives named yeah, Fournier. Yes, uh-huh. Yeah, there's Fournier or yeah, well, Fournier and then there's the Fournier or the Fournier. Yeah, in Barbados, right. That is so cool. Yeah. There's a lot of them down there too. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, the French did a lot of trading. So, as I said, not only are we farmers, laity, soldiers, but we're also traders. Yeah, we do trade. We trade a lot of things. Yeah, we're known for that. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yep, Suzanne saying, not sure why, thinking of the Sloop John B, originally from the Kingston Trio, among other people after that who sang after them. They were the original, and then, of course, the Beach Boys had a great rendition of Sloop John B. So, and then Dwight Yoakam sang it also. He did a cover. So, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out there. So she says, not sure why, thinking of the Sloop John B. Have fun on your adventure, Gorilla. And Gorilla, I hope your sister and both your parents enjoy themselves as well. Just have fun, Gorilla. Don't worry about anything, okay? The ship's not going to sink. Nothing's going to happen. LDG probably won't find you when you get down to Fort Lauderdale. Just don't give him your true location, or that big bronze, or is it gold by now? His big bronze or gold foot will find your butt. Yeah, then you're in real trouble, I'm sure. But then again, if his foot reaches your butt, you can go over to his bald head and go, yeah, 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 yeah. You can do that to him. And tell him Mikey sent it, okay? Tell him I sent that to him. There you go, LDJ. Yeah. Okay. All right. I love you, LDJ. We love you. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and close on down. Uh so just remember everything starts after February. There you go. That'll be easy enough to remember. And there is my beautiful wife doing her traditional wave to everybody. Okay, so remember when we talk about my beautiful wife, she is known for saying, leave everything in God's hands. Great piece of advice. Please follow it if you can. Also, my wonderful and awesome brother Larry, who I've and best friend who I've known for 50 plus years, who always says, always be yourself. Always works. And then, of course, thank you again. And I will always be thankful for this year for the meme that both Brother Matt and Brother Jim's Landscape, provided for me, which was, remember, you never know where you'll hear or see me next. So keep those notifications going. You know this thing? Keep that thing going. All right. And Kevin Theme says, have fun, Gorilla. Absolutely. Have fun from all of us, Gorilla. But be safe. Be careful out there, okay? There are some nut jobs out there, especially on cruise ships. I ain't kidding. I ain't lying. So be careful. Yeah. And Kevin says, how are you doing, Mikey? Well, how are you doing there, Kevin? I never forgot to ask you that, damn it. Oh, I'm doing good, Mikey. Oh, thank you, Kevin. Well, we're doing good. Now, where it's wonderful to hear, Kevin. Yeah, we're and as I told everybody, Gorilla, I don't know if you all heard, but Lizzie Armstrong over in Queensland, Australia, is doing fine. She's just very busy, but she is fine, healthy, and well. So thank you all for thinking about her, and and looking forward just to know that she's all right, and she is. She's doing fine, doing perfectly well. So thank you all. And she says hello from Coco and Fifi, and also from the kookaburras, those birds there in Aussie land where they came and adopted her home. So yeah, the kookaburras. Yeah, those are fun. Okay, so she sends her best to everybody, Miss Lizzie Armstrong. All right. Let's see. So really, as I said, the only thing I'm trying to get done before the end of the month is I would like to do a 1v1 interview with someone in the community. And I know since Lizzie is busy, and we understand, and keep going. Like I said, do what you do. But Matt, if you're listening, brother Matt, we'd love to do a 1v1 next week for sure. So let me know if there is a day or time that you're available. Maybe we can do it on one of Jim's streams, and we can go ahead and interview you both together. Yeah, I'd like to do that. Sure. Jim, me, interview you, Matt. Sure. Absolutely. Just the three of us. That would be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. I'd love to do that. So let me know, please. Let me know. Okay. And of course, in the words of that wonderful Gene Siskel of Siskel and Ebert at the movies, and now the aisle is closed. And again, I want to thank the family, the foundation, for allowing me to use that in all my future streams and webcams like this at the end. Okay. So peace from Mikey Sue's, and of course our beautiful cats, Moon Pie and Deja Vu over there. And hope all of you are going to have a wonderful rest of this weekend. Stay warm out there. You know who I'm talking about there, Susie. Hint, hint. Stay warm. You in Harlem, everybody. We'll try to stay warm because it's really insanely cold outside. I I tried it. Okay, I walked to the balcony, saw about almost a quarter inch of snow on the balcony. Opened the door. It's a big, tempered class. Can barely break. Right, good thing about this place when it used to be a hospice, for medical care and whatever. And it was, it just blew me back. And I said, oh, nope, nope, nope. I'm not going out on the balcony. No way. I wanted to. I wanted to try it, just sit out there for 10 minutes. But I got to see enough. I got to see enough snow. But like I said, we're right now at about 7 or 8 inches on the ground right now. And there's more to come. So the city's going to be digging out people for a couple weeks. Yeah. Take that, Doug Fordish, you bastard. Anyway, all right. So everybody take care of yourselves. Have fun out there. And of course, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. The big prayer, of course, to everybody in the ChattyBloggerMS community, as well as the rest of this world. We know we have a crazy one. So, God, please watch over everybody and everyone and all the families and make sure that we have at least a good peace. No more violence. Of course, that comes from the evil one. We all know this. So, with all that, we ask you, God, and pray. Amen and amen. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. There we go. And of course, Jesus, Virgin Mary, Holy Spirit, Saint Suzanne, Saint Michael the Archangel, pray for us. Thank you very much. Amen. So we are all done now. We're good. Make sure everybody takes care of themselves. Remember, don't forget, because you do have your blue wrenchies. Blue wrenchies! I had to say that one more time. I loved, come on. I loved Yellow Submarine. Blue minis. Yeah, right. Beatles, thank you. Anyway, as I said, so all of you, please, remember, whenever you're in chat like this and you'd like to promote your channel for anything coming up or just your channel, do it. Just you have the wrench power. Have the power. Get the chopper. Now. Power of Grayskull. Yeah. I have the power. Da, 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 da. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, yeah, make sure that you promote your links. Go ahead and do that. We will point it out. Say, hey, they got their link in there. Go to their channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. Doesn't matter if you have barely any content or none. You're an important member of our family here, and we respect everybody. So hopefully you get a chance to someone say, hey, but she's cool, even though she may not her, or he have their own content. They are cool people in this community, and we love them, and we need to give them more subs, and we need to get more people to give them more subs, right? So get them more recommendations. Cool. All right. So 4 wonderful likes, 4 people watching. Okay. That is awesome. And again, my beautiful wife, and to you, Lemon, thank you for your supervision. Thank you, Gorilla, because you got a big one there. And thank you for the managing of the chat, everything, and keeping us free from the harmful trolls and everybody else to try to intrude. We appreciate that. So thank you so much. All right. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time. We will see you after February when we begin the MOPS project. Musicals, operas, plays. We're going to have fun. We're going to have fun. So we'll see you then, again, on ChattyBloggerMS, which of course stands for Mikey Sues. Love to you all. We'll see you next time. And again, God bless you all.